Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and this is another Weekend Ads episode for Week 10 of the fantasy hockey season. Before we jump into it, guys, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to receive notifications every time I post a new video to help you out, hit that notification bell. Now, today I'm wearing my Fantasy Tipped Christmas shirt. If you guys want to check that out, you can check that out at fantasytip.com. Go ahead and get yourself one for the holidays. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into it and let's take a look at the schedule for this weekend. As you can see, guys, on Friday there are only 3 games, Saturday there are 13, and Sunday there are 5. So, in all likelihood, you probably can't fit anybody in your lineup on Saturday. But just in case, I'm still going to do my usual format of Friday and Saturday games. Friday and Sunday games are going to be the most important, and then Saturday and Sunday players. So we're going to start with players that play both Friday and Saturday, and there are 2 teams that play both of those days. Those teams are Arizona and the New York Islanders. The number one guy to stream from those teams would be Jacob Chychrun of the Arizona Coyotes. He's been absolutely killing it since he's started with the Coyotes. He's been shooting the puck a lot and has just been an offensive force, and he is really good. If you remember his season 2 years ago, guys, it's starting to look like that at this point. Then I have Clayton Keller of the Arizona Coyotes, recently coming off a hat trick, and has been pretty good all year round. Definitely the next best guy to be grabbing here. Then Shane Gostisbehere of the Arizona Coyotes, now playing on that power play with Chychrun. Definitely getting a boost from that. Then Anders Lee of the Islanders is a little bit colder as of late, but overall this year has been pretty good and is still playing with Brock Nelson. So definitely plenty of opportunities to keep putting up points. Then Jean-Gabriel Pageau and Zach Parise, both playing on the third line in New York, and both have actually been pretty decent this year. And then I have Nick Schmaltz, who does play on that top power play and top line with Clayton Keller, so he would be the next best guy I would go for. Then I have Lawson Crouse, and he's getting some solid second line minutes. It's also a guy that gets to a pretty safe floor with his shots on goal and his hits, if you do have hits in your league. Then I have Ryan Pulock of the New York Islanders, gets second power play time and puts up some decent block shots numbers. Then I have Oliver Wahlstrom, and he's getting top line time with Matthew Barzal. Always an opportunity there to put up some points, and he just tends to be a pretty good shooter as well. Matias Maccelli has been amazing all year round, second line as well with Lawson Crouse. Unfortunately, his peripherals are not very good, but he puts up points very often. And then Alexander Romanov is a guy also that's going to get you a little bit of a safer floor with hits and blocks. Not too likely to put up points though. And then Pellick's the same kind of thing. If he is healthy, he probably is going to put up a decent amount of blocks, maybe a hit, maybe a shot, but nothing too crazy, but at least a safe floor there. And then Josh Bailey doesn't really have a floor at all, but he does play on that top line with Barzal and with Wahlstrom. So if you're desperate, he's definitely someone that could put up a point. Now for the most useful part of this video, for most of you guys in all likelihood, are the players that play both Friday and Sunday. And at the beginning of the week, I emphasized the importance of the off nights this week. There's really not a lot of players playing on those nights, whereas on the busy nights, there are just so many teams playing. So I already advocated picking up Calgary and Minnesota players. So you may already have these guys on your team, so you may already be good to go. But if you do need someone for Friday and for Sunday, there may still be some Calgary and Minnesota players out there for you to grab. And also Chicago is now an option for Friday and Sunday games as well. The first guy that I would grab is Joel Eriksson, who plays on the line with Foligno and Greenway. It's just obviously not the most amazing line in the world, but he always does well on that line. He's also getting plenty of top power play minutes and has been producing a lot. Then Tyler Toffoli obviously is always a great choice, playing on the top line with Huberdeau, who seems to be hitting up a little bit now. And also on the top power play, definitely like me some Toffoli if he's available. Then Adam Ruzicka and Michael Backlund are playing on that third line with Blake Coleman, and they're both decently hot right now, so I don't mind them as ad. Then I have Max Domi, who's back on the top line with Patrick Kane and with Sam Lafferty this time around, and he's been pretty solid all year, getting constant top power play time. Definitely don't mind me some Max Domi. Marcus Foligno is someone who's a little bit cold, but definitely always has an opportunity to put up some points playing with Joel Eriksson. And if you do have hits in your league, he's even more valuable there because he puts up a pretty safe floor with hits every single night. Then Andrew Mangiapane is someone who is very on and off, but definitely someone who could score a couple of goals in a night and really help you out. So definitely is a boom or bust kind of player to be adding. but definitely could help you if he does have a boom night in one of those 2 nights you're grabbing him for. Then I got Blake Coleman, who's playing on that line with Ruzicka and with Michael Backlund. someone who I don't mind actually puts up some shots on goal, so at least gets you a little bit of a floor there. Then Jonathan Toews, who's playing on that second line with Radish and with Kurashev, and he's been okay all year. If you need face-off wins, that's definitely something that Toews is going to be good at. Definitely could put some points as well. Then I have Sam Steele of the Minnesota Wild playing on that top line with Zuccarello and Kaprizov. Obviously, the deployment is amazing, so definitely could put up some points. Dylan Dubé is playing on that second line with Kadri and with Mangiapane, and he hasn't been too bad lately either. Taylor Radish is playing with Jonathan Toews. Has been one of the better Blackhawks all year. Not someone I'm super high on, but if you're desperate, definitely an option. And then Gaudreau and Greenway. Gaudreau plays on the second line with Boldy, and Greenway plays on the third line with Joel Eriksson Ek and Marcus Foligno. Neither of those guys are my favorite either, but definitely if you're desperate and you're in a super deep league, these guys could definitely fill in the roster spot for you. Moving on to players that play both Saturday and Sunday, and if you need players that play both those days, you got 5 teams that play both those days, which is pretty good. You got Carolina, you got the New York Rangers, you got Ottawa, you got San Jose, and you got Winnipeg. Now, the number 1 and 2 guys that I would stream, and these guys are pretty much at the top of all these lists when San Jose is there, is Hertl and Couture. Both these guys have been very, very good all year round, both getting top power play time, both getting top 6 minutes, and both producing very frequently very, very good ads if they're available. And then Blake Wheeler of the Winnipeg Jets has been so hot on that line with Scheifele and with Cole Perfetti, and is not slowing down. Definitely like him if he's somehow available. Vincent Trocheck, who is now a little bit below 70% rostered, which is surprising to me because, yeah, I mean, he hasn't been that amazing, but definitely the potential's up there. Then you got Teuvo Teravainen of the Carolina Hurricanes, and while he hasn't been that good this year, he's definitely been underwhelming. He's still one of the better players on that team, and I do expect him to turn it around. This could be the time that he does. He's getting power play minutes on one of the best power plays in the league. Like, Trocheck is someone that definitely has a lot of upside. Then we got Cole Perfetti and Adam Lowry of the Winnipeg Jets. And Perfetti's obviously playing on that very hot line with Scheifele and with Wheeler. And then Lowry's playing on the third line center, but has been producing pretty frequently. And if you do have hits in your league, he's even more valuable there. Then have Seth Jarvis of the Carolina Hurricanes playing on that second line with Teuvo Teravainen and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. And he has been playing a lot better as of late, putting up some points. Then have Alex Barabanov and Kevin Labanc. Barabanov plays on the second line with Couture, and Labanc plays in the top line with Hertl and with Meyer. While it might seem like Labanc has the better deployment, Barabanov actually gets the top power play time, and Labanc doesn't. So I'd much rather have Barabanov, who's been more consistent this year as well with the production, than Kevin Labanc, but both are definitely guys who are kind of under the radar, having really good seasons. Then I got Derek Brassard of the Ottawa Senators, and because of the injuries to Stützle and to Josh Norris, he's actually manning the top line right now with Brady Tkachuk. And with that kind of deployment, it's definitely someone that I would consider for this weekend. And then I have Barclay Goodrow, Alexi Lafreniere, and Philip Udall. And while none of these guys are guys that I love, Goodrow is actually getting some time right now on the top line with Zibanejad and with Panarin. So that's some pretty freaking good deployment. So definitely not a terrible ad. And then Lafreniere and Hedl are guys that playing on the third line with Kakko, and I wouldn't add them unless there's nobody available above them in this list. In terms of defensemen that you can add this weekend, Chychrun and Gostisbehere are the 2 best guys. There's no doubt about that. They've been very hot as of late. Jared Spurgeon would be the next best guy. He's been putting up points despite not getting that top power play time, putting up some decent peripherals. Seth Jones, he hasn't been that great, but still top power play in Chicago. Definitely the opportunities are there. Matt Benning has been someone who's really impressed me late, getting a lot of minutes, putting up a lot of blocks numbers, and even putting up some points pretty frequently. Liking him right now. Then Neil Pionk is someone who's been a little bit cold, but still getting second power play time. Still puts up some decent hits numbers, so if you do have hits in your league, he's someone that should give you a pretty safe floor. Then Pullock's alright, he'll put up a pretty safe floor for blocks, and then he'll also put up a point every once in a while. And Giannis Moser is someone who's seeing top power play time actually right now in Arizona, and has been pretty good all year round. Alright, so if you want to stream a goalie, the number 1 goalie that I would stream if he does get confirmed for Sunday is Dan Vlader. Now, it looks like Markstrom is looking like he's probably going to take the crease bag in Calgary, but there's still a decent chance that Vlader does get the game against San Jose on Sunday because they are a bit of a lesser opponent, and if Markstrom starts the bulk of the starts this week, it does make sense to give a game to Vlader, who has been playing pretty well. If he does at the start, he's my favorite. Then I have Yaroslav Halak, And the Rangers do play a back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, they play Philly. On Sunday, they play Chicago. So he will get one of those two games. Neither of those teams are very good. So if he does play Sunday, he is my next favorite because Chicago is not a good team. And then Andre Ronta should get a start this weekend. The Kings do play a back-to-back set on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, they play Dallas, which is a tough game. And on Sunday, they play Pittsburgh, which is also a tough game. But I imagine that Kochetkov is going to get the game against Dallas. And then Ronta probably gets the game against Pittsburgh. Tough opponent, but Carolina's a good team. Then Anton Forsberg is going to get one of the games this weekend, either against Detroit or against Minnesota. Minnesota's the game on Sunday. And if Talbot gets the game Saturday, Forsberg will get the game on Sunday, and he'd be the next best bet for goalie stream. And then Seattle got a game against Winnipeg on Sunday, and they seem to be rotating the starts between these two guys. I would not grab either of these guys until they're confirmed. But when one is, it's not the worst stream in the world, but Winnipeg has been pretty good offensively lately, so definitely kind of a scary stream. Then Kaapo Kähkönen of the San Jose Sharks, and San Jose does play a back-to-back this weekend against LA, then Calgary. So Kähkönen will get one of those starts. Which one it'll be, we'll have to see. But if it does end up being against Calgary, he'd be my second least favorite stream of the weekend, but still definitely someone that you could stream if you're desperate. Then finally, I have a Chicago goalie, either Mrazek or Soderblom, against the New York Rangers this weekend. It's going to be a rough stream. The Rangers are definitely a good team with a good power play. We're going to have to see how these goalies pan out. But if you are desperate, they haven't been too bad, especially if you're in a points-based league. Mrazek or Soderblom definitely could still be a serviceable streaming option for Sunday night. So jumping into the categories league section of this video now, guys. And if you need shots on goal, you need to catch up in the category a little bit, or you just want to make sure you maintain that lead that you have in shots on goal, the number one guy to stream would be Jakob Chychrun, who's been shooting 3.9 times per game since he's gotten back from injury. I don't suggest you stream Jakob Chychrun. I suggest you hang on to him. Then I have Vinny Trocheck, who's been shooting 3.4, Eric Stanek 3.2. Then I have Blake Wheeler, who's shooting only 2.3 times per game on average over the year, but has been shooting a lot more as of late. Didn't shoot a lot at the beginning of the season, but is shooting a lot now. Then Tyler Toffoli 3.1, Backlund 2.6, Couture 2.4, Parise 2.4, and Brady Shea 2.3. You need block shots. Jake McCabe is your guy. He blocks 2.7 times per game, so over 2 games, he should get you 5 blocks, which is pretty good. Seth Jones, 2.4. Benning, 1.6. But again, as of late, he's been blocking a lot more shots, so he would be my third favorite option. Then Tanev, 2.3. Josh Brown, 2.2. Romanov, 2.1. And then Martinez is only playing 1 game this weekend, but he does block 3.9 shots per game on average, which is just incredible. Note that Chris Tanev is injured, so we'll have to make sure that he is healthy before you pick him up. If you need to hit, the number one guy to add is Jared Tenori. He's finally back from injury. He's been hitting 3.9 times per game on average. Then Clutterbuck, 3.8. O'Brien, 3.6. Foligno, 3.5. Sammy Blais, 3.5. Matt Martin, 3.4. Keegan Kolesar, 3.3. And then Ryan Reeves, 3.1. And finally, if you need face-off wins, the number one guy to add is Jonathan Toews. He's incredible at face-offs, wins 12 per game on average. So over 2 games, should win you 24 face-offs, which could definitely help you take that category. Pajot, 11. Hurdle, 9.5. Jordan Staal, 9.4. Eriksson Ek, 9.1. Trocheck, 8.8. Michael Backlund, 8.7. Max Domi, 8.0. And Adam Lowry, 7.9. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you guys liked the content today, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate you watching all the way through. If you do want to check out my merch store for items just like this one, you can check that out at fantasytip.com. And if you do want to take your support to the next level, check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tip.